You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 269, nice of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we are joined by an artist, woodturner, a published author, and a woodworking teacher, pumping out beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces out of his cozy 280 square foot backyard shop. So kick back and listen as we ask him how he went from playing a pink bass in his rock band called Leather Vests and Hairy Chest to publishing a woodworking book on making boxes. Please help me welcome Albert Kleine.
Didn't expect that part.
Was that fact? Was that a fact?
Was that a fact?
Yeah, how did you know that?
Wow, that's crazy. I guess I can do my reresearch.
Yeah, I wonder where that exists on the internet.
He does his own research.
Our
research team.
Before you play drums, too.
This is like a Nardwuar type thing, isn't it? This is like, oh, God.
Well, your music teacher's right
stellar.
Here, Miss Eleanor.
I know, right? Yeah, that's true. That is true. All that's true. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I would gladly. I mean, yeah, I played pink. How do you know the pink bass part? I'm wondering.
I have my sources.
You have your sources.
Here's the thing. I take the researching the guest very seriously.
I'm sure you do.
And I try to get whatever I can.
Pete researches enough for two of us.
He pays for ChatGPT Premium just to do his research.
Okay, yeah.
Do you guys know that he has skeletons, but not in his closet? They're in his shop, and there's two of them, and they're pink.
I did know that one.
Yeah, there you go.
That one's they're not in here right now. They're actually on the front porch.
Oh,
it's Halloween time.
It's their time. It's their time to shine.
Their time to shine.
Halloween decorations ready for that. There you go.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of our favorite band.
Our patrons.
Yes, Dan, you nailed it. You picked that right up with no pause.
Our slap of the bass trends.
No, I didn't like that.
It seemed good to me.
We have two new bass trends.
Yeah,
that's pretty good, right? Yeah,
that's good.
We got Jeff Van Veller from Three Tails Woodworks and Mr. Garrett Meyer from Mud Time Creations.
Woo!
Welcome to the Man Army, gentlemen. The Man Army. We have generals in the Man Army. Those are our VIPs. And sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink while I go through this monstrous list. Mike over at DM Works. It's pronounced Works, Dan. Oh. Thank you,
What
Mike.
did you say last time?
I don't know.
Roll the tape.
Workes. Jeremy Johnstone, Greg over at G&M Design Co., Crabtree Creative is our buddy Scott, Dominic over at The Crafty Sloth, Sean Renshaw at Native Woodworking, Nick at NSM Woodcraft, Chris Lamoureux from Homefront Woodworks, Duffy Woodcraft is Alex the Mayor Duffy, Greg Bennett over at Windy Acres Works, Greg D'Ambrosio, GTD Woodworks. Damon from BWG Woodworking. Jeremy Claybaugh from J. Claybaugh Woodworking.
Nice.
Baja Blast Spray Foam and Spray Foam Accessories is only Alex Adams.
I hate Alex Adams.
Furniture.
He's in timeout.
John Herbolsheimer from Living Lap Woodworks. Nick, insert funny name here, Vreeland from NV Woodshop. Jared LaPuma over at LL Bill Woodworks. Tyler Booth from Temecula Yard Games. Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood. Justin Frazier from Frazier Canyon Woodworks. Sarah with Rosie's Woodshop. El Jefe is Jeff over at Maker's Way. Victor from Whim Designs. Maker Meetup #1 guest 2 years running is obviously Nick Brim. Okay. Maker Meetup #2 to 4 guests 2 years running is obviously Max Reed and his lovely wife, Lissa, and their daughter, Ophelia.
That's weird. I didn't see them this year.
I don't know how they're calling themselves number 1 and number 2 2 years running. We'll discuss that later. Bill Burkle over at WTB Woodworking, crafted with machines and love, is Patrick Insel. Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking. Chris at Chris Will Make. Trash Panda stole AWP's corn. What? What? is James Alford over at Trash Panda Crafts and such. Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks, and rounding them out is Mr. John Grubb.
The Grubster.
Grubb will make. Grubb makes. Sorry if I butchered your name, Mr. Grubb. That's it. That's the list. End of list.
Thank you, patrons. You guys rock. We really should have warned our guests a little more about the weird.
Yeah. So if that seems interesting to you, and you want to sign up for that, and you want me to butcher your name or read it out loud,
what are some other benefits, Dan?
I think that's it. I think that's all. I think that's the only benefit. What else do we do?
Well, we got that. We got the pre-show gets sent right to your phone. You got the early access on the podcast. You get the
quarterly Zoom call.
Yeah, quarterly Zoom call. So far, we're two out of 4 for this year. We'll keep you guys posted on our next call. That's coming soon.
We work on an offset fiscal year.
Yeah, we got the AWP Maker Meetup. We have the, of course.
Anybody can join that though.
More entries. You get bonus entries depending on your tier for the giveaways, and then of course we got our special group there in Discord, including anytime we have cool discounts and things, we have a chat for that, as well as just a great forum of information for all of our patrons to listen to. So boom,
information.
There you go.
That's a
benefitos. Yeah. Now, all those extra entries, how can they use them, Braden?
Well, let me tell you. Every single month we do.
Hold up. So you guys got way ahead of me.
Well, you look like you were done talking.
If you want to join Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/WoodShop Podcast.
You look like you forgot what your lines were, so I picked it up, Dan.
No, I know what I'm doing. Or just go to iloveawp.com. There.
That's
now,
still
Braden,
live
go.
domain. Yeah.
And if you go to iloveawp.com and you like what you see there, you can sign up and get entered in to win one of our many exclusive giveaways.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, Dan committed us to one single giveaway every single month, and we promise to ship it to the winner within the fiscal quarter of our choosing. So we are enthusiastic. We are not prompt. But this month we are giving away a match fit CNC hold down set. Was that this month?
Yep.
We are a micro jig bundle pack of fun. I believe that we also have the gripper and ripper in that pack.
The mini gripper? Not the full gripper.
The strong hand gripper.
The grip to go.
Yeah.
Is that the official name? The grip
I believe
to go?
that's the grip to go. Yeah.
I could go confirm it, but I don't want to get up.
If you'd like to get entered in to win this month's wonderful prize or any other prize, the higher your tier on Patreon, the more entries you get automatically. We do all the math for you. Don't worry about it. If you don't love us, or if you want bonus super secret entries, you can go to not I'dLoveAWP.com, arethechairs.included.com, and that will take you to our St. Jude's page, where every single $5 that you donate to St. Jude's through our page will get you another entry, and you will also join the fight against childhood cancer, because F that shit. So, go do that.
By the way, it's the Micro Jig Gripper 2, the number 2 go.
Gripper Dosco.
Dosco. Exactly.
Got it.
Is that it?
That's it, Pete.
That's it.
Hit it with a remix.
Hey! Well, huge shout out to our sponsors. This week is Gorilla Glue. Guys, they're a trusted brand. They've been around for decades, and they know what they're doing. They just released a whole bunch of new products, new tapes, new super glue dots, permanent dots. That's what they said. That apparently permanent double-sided tape. Then of course they got some new wood fillers as well. I used the white one to patch up some holes in my house. They got golden oak, which is of course the favorite of my friend Sean Kirsch, and walnut for all those of you that want to maybe fill your cutting board holes with that. Kidding, please don't do that. Not food safe. But you can go check out the whole lineup, from the classic PVA glue that we've all used for years and trusted to, wait, no, not PVA, polyurethane. I'm mixing them up. To all the new glues that they have, the woodworking glues, the Ultimate, which is fully water resistant for outdoor use. Great glues to check out. The trusted brand. We've been using it for years, and go make your projects even stronger with Gorilla Glue.
The woodworking glues are PVA glue.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for correcting me. And another huge shout out to one of our longtime patrons and one of our favorite sponsors, WTB Woodworking. Bill Burkle over there has been blowing up his business. He started in like a small area, setting up a store. He has now got every single major brand. He's got Powermatic in there, Jet, tons of other tools. He's got a new mill coming in too. Actually, I think it already arrived. And they offer everything from slabs, milling services, flattening, woodworking tools, all your high-end tools from Festool to epoxies to SawStop is all right there. And I'm excited to announce that their 1-year anniversary party is going to be this Saturday. Yeah, that's right. This Saturday is, we're all going to be there from about 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. or until we all stroll out of there. And what's up, Dan? Why you keep shaking your head?
Not all of us.
You guys, you RSVP'd maybe, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know Albert's coming. He's only 2 hours away.
Sure.
Sure, yeah, there you go. Just agree for the ad. But yeah, I'm going to be down there with Keith. Eric Curtis is coming up. Mary Sai, she was on recently. And a couple of other great... Oh, Nick from State of Woodco is coming up as well. So it's going to be a party. We're trying to bring out a good crowd. He's going to have massive discounts for the day of, so it's worth stopping by just if you want to pick something up. So go check out WTBwoodworking.com, and while you're there, make sure to sign up for the giveaway. They're always running something awesome, and it's worth entering. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Pete,
yeah,
would you pick me up some slabs and get the massive discount and then fax them to me, please?
You got it. Yep.
Thank you.
Overnight fax. You got it. Boom. So go check that out. That's going to be in at their one and only location, to Huntingdon Valley in PA. So, yeah, go check out the website. All the details are there. And with that, I'm excited to get to our guest. So, Albert, who the hell do you think you are? Give us the elevator pitch.
Coming in hot.
I'm a guy who does woodworking and has been asked to do it more publicly recently. So, I've been doing more public woodworking. So I guess I would say I'm a woodworking teacher, presenter, demonstrator, author, guy.
That's quite a resume.
Fella.
I just do a lot of, I say yes to a lot of things.
By public, do you mean like on the sidewalk?
Yeah. No. Well,
we'll do woodworking for cash.
I mean,
for the longest time,
parks?
it was like a cuck thing. Like, I mean, you just sat in a chair.
No, not like
that. Not like that. Okay,
that's a private woodworker.
Not yet, at least. No, I mean, I just mean, guilds ask me to come and demonstrate. I get asked to, present at places and things like that. So, that's all I mean by
like public. Wizards guilds
of the lollipop variety.
No, like woodworkers guilds.
You can clearly tell this is not a traditional woodworking crowd here. They don't know what guilds are.
It's like turning guilds and woodworkers guilds all over the country.
Turners have gills? They can breathe underwater?
They can. Fun fact.
So you've been doing this for what, about 8-9 years now, right?
6, 7.
A little bit more than that. I've kind of kicked around a bit. So, I've been posting for around that time. Yeah.
So what got you into it from the beginning? Like, what got it all started?
I mean, what kicked it off in like current time is buying a house and having space. Because before that, I was, either in school, moving around, or living in tiny little apartments. And then finally got space and had like a little tiny shed in the backyard, and just slowly started filling it with tools, and kind of took off from there.
Right
Story
on.
as old as time.
Yeah. So what did you start out with? Just did you have interest? Did you have like do furniture for the house, or did you want to get into more artistic pieces? What was the trajectory you took to this point?
Do you still own your 2x4 foot bench?
Foot bench, 2x4.
Like everybody, they make a piece out of 2x4s.
Oh,
the first
piece.
Your
pallet wood coffee table.
I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I mean, the first thing I made was, with using the miter saw that my wife got me, was just the 2x4 bench on the back deck that I painted with exterior paint, and it held up long enough. I do not have that anymore. No. But I mean, just trying to, do the same thing that everyone does. I want to save some money, so I'll build it myself.
And you quickly learn.
I mean,
you're not saving money. It's costing me a lot of money.
I'm going to save negative $300 on this project.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that'll show them.
You learn so much, though.
The real savings are the friends we make along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you did some of that. You then started doing some epoxy or resin work, did some turning. And like, what got you into turning? Because that's usually people either lean into that hard or like there's a catalyst for that.
I kind of like go around everywhere. It's kind of one of those things that, I mean, with woodworking, at least when I first started, back many, or not many years ago, but a couple of years ago, I had that kind of desire to just do everything. So it was like follow everybody on Instagram, follow everybody everywhere, see what they had to do. So like the turning stuff was like, oh, I can, buy a little tiny lathe, slap it on, do a little turning, try that out, and then kind of just like moved on to different things here and there.
Now, there's woodworkers aplenty. You can't swing a Craig saw around without hitting a woodworker. But woodworker's fairly broad. There's everyone with the chop saws, the table saws, the joiners, now CNCs, lasers, all that.
CNC isn't woodworking.
Yeah, it is. So is 3D printing with Wood PLA. But you've kind of, I find that you firmly landed in the outlier woodworking fields, the turning, the marquetry work, the hand tool stuff, all of them kind of, known as like the old man woodworking things, the kind of a much smaller niche. I know Craig Stevens was a big inspiration of yours. Did you take a class with him, or did you just get inspired by his book? Like, what got you into that? Because your marquetry work is on point.
Thank you.
Just for people, not me, but people that maybe don't know what marquetry is.
It's when you go to a lot of markets.
Right. Okay, good. So I'm
you and I, we do that in the fall.
Explain it for the people not on this podcast.
Not on this podcast. Yeah. So marquetry is, it's the main thing that I do, or I suppose it's the thing that I primarily show nowadays. It's everyone's seen it at some point, whether or not they know it. It's just taking veneers, cutting those veneers, and then arranging them together by orienting grain differently and using different species of wood to get different colors and different textures and things like that to create images. So I gravitated towards that because I did take a class with Craig Stevens at the Philadelphia Furniture Workshop a while ago. But I think a lot of the work that I do, you mentioned like hand tool stuff, mentioned the marquetry stuff, and
the lathe work. Yeah.
And the lathe work to a certain extent. It's like a lot of that was dictated by my space that I was working out of. So like, if you notice, like right in front of me, I have my marquetry donkey, which is the name for the marquetry cutting table, which I do all my work with a fret saw, by hand. I cut all my dovetails with a dovetail saw by hand. I do all that by hand, and all of it's because I was working out of this horrible tiny little shed. I can't, just setting up like a dovetail jig to cut with a router is like a big fat pain. So I was able to do that and then, work in the house as well. So kind of my work situation kind of directed me towards the things that I ended up doing, kind of.
Yeah, now your shop's definitely like cozy AF now. Like you got the pine slat walls. I'm assuming it's pine, maybe cedar, right? Just has like a cozy vibe. Pine. But the thing is, we're all commenting on how much room you have in there earlier, and it's makes sense because you've got these kind of contained hobbies.
Also, this Savage has no table saw. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't. But even if I did, like I when I built this shop, I wasn't going to have a table saw. I was never intending to have it because
wild. That's foreign to me. That's alien.
It's also a lie. He told us he has a table saw. He had the tiny little baby, table saw from the TV.
Well, I don't have that one anymore. But
the pizza cutter.
The thing is like, I have a bandsaw, and I've gravitated towards the bandsaw for such a long time because you have to remember, again, my situation when I learned how to do everything. I was in this tiny little shed, so yeah, I had a saw stop, but it was a saw stop job site saw. So I gotta kick it out, roll it out. Like, can you cut joinery on that thing? Not really. I mean, like, yeah, you can if you want to spend hours setting it up every single time, right? So because of that, I just ended up getting really good with using hand planes and things like that. So to me, like, ripping a board on the bandsaw and then cleaning up that edge with a hand plane is like nothing. That's nothing to me. And it's just because that's how I had to learn. If I had the room to have a table saw, I probably never would have done that.
Honestly, you might be a candidate for a saw that these guys saw recently. Saw that you saw, whatever. And Keith, I like how you both turned your heads like, what's Pete talking about?
Oh, yeah.
In Keith's shop, the Festool, small Festool table saw is incredibly accurate and like really solid in the parts that matter. The fence is a little, when you lock it, it's fine, but it's kind of
that slider
lighter. But that slider, the fence that's on it, like all that just feels so rock solid, and it goes into a sustainer, and you can tuck it away, and it's like smaller than a suitcase, right? So it'd be perfect for something your size.
I had looked at that because, again, I don't.
You're going to want to get a second job.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I don't cut joinery on a saw or on power machines is the thing. So the thing about that Festool thing that I looked at is, you can angle that blade and probably have it dialed in enough to really close up like a miter, like cut a true miter on a saw that small is pretty tough. On a job site saw, you angle that. Once you angle that blade, okay, it's 45 degrees. 45 degrees to what? That table's like deflecting constantly, like everything's moving. I saw that one, and I did think about that, but now, I mean, I have room for a full cabinet saw, and I could still walk around. So I mean,
full cabinet saw, just enough room for that. No job site saw, you don't have to worry about stopping, dropping, and setting up shopping with it. So it's nice to have it just in place.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that having it set up is the big thing. A big heavy piece of cast iron that isn't going to move and has a blade that's fixed. I mean, that's why I do the hand tool stuff so much, is because you can either get the big cast iron table saw and get accuracy there, or you can pick up a hand plane and like figure it out.
That being said, you do have, what is that, a Felder or hammer? One of those?
Yeah.
Jointer planer?
So yeah. Okay. So
not calling you out, just saying.
No.
You still got to joint the boards, right?
Well, yeah. That's the thing is that that's my milling machine, right? So that's the A331. So that's a combo, right? Mm-hmm. So that'll joint and plane.
Comes with fries and a drink.
It's nice. I like that it space was a concern, right? I didn't want to have a jointer and a planer. I also don't plane much, believe it or not. I do a lot. I'm jointing more than I'm planing, really. I very rarely turn that into planer mode. I'm more of a jointer guy. But I don't want to face joint a board. That's the thing. It's like I could face joint a board with a hand plane, but why would I do that? That's not fun.
Yeah. So just a modern touch on traditional woodworking.
Yeah, and I mean, I obviously I don't have any problem with machines. I have no problem with machines. I think machines are great. It's just again, it's like I think a lot of hand tool people, because if you look over here, you can see there's like my hand tool cabinet is ridiculous. Like if that thing gets stolen, I'm in big trouble because the dollar value of that thing is nuts. But there's a lot of hand tool people can be snobby about it and think that they're better than you because they do it that way. But like honestly, the only reason why I do it that way is just because it's the way I had to do it, and that's the way this is kind of like just the way I view it. So it's like, yeah, I finally have room for the hammer, like I'm buying a damn hammer and putting it there. Right. Like, why wouldn't I?
I mean, I love seeing non-traditional workshops and how people work with like in other ways to still achieve great results. Because I'm in the mindset of like, well, I need a table saw and I need a joiner and I need, a miter saw and whatever. Like you start like listing all these tools, but that starts to eat up a lot of space. I'm in a 2-car garage and I'm packed. Now, granted, I have a laser and a CNC in there too, but like that space, goes away real quick. So it's cool to see what you're able to do in the work you're putting out with a lot of the go-to tools kind of missing.
I mean, hand tool guys, we're better than you. And we know it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it is a different. To me, it's like this is the spaces that I tend to run in. It's like this is how a lot of us tend to work.
Gangs.
So I mean, like I'm just talking like my friends. Like a lot of my friends have very similar shops, and it's just because we meet in the same places. Like, for example, like y'all were at Maker Camp 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I was at
Woodworking. Has it already been 2 weeks?
I was at Woodworking in America, which is like a fine woodworking, popular woodworking.
Oh,
event.
yeah. It's where all the old people go, like Spagnolo.
I mean, it's an old, I mean, that's what, and those are the spaces that I'm typically.
I'm actually bummed it's the same time, like same weekend usually too. I wanted to go to it in the past, but
that was just, I mean, there's so many things I could say about the timing and the promotion of that event. That event should not have been, and we've talked. I mean, what do they care? They don't care about me, but we did mention that like there's no reason why it should be the same weekend as Maker Camp, because Maker Camp is a predictable weekend. Like
it's always Columbus Day. I learned that this year. It's always Columbus Day.
See, I learned that this year too.
Yeah.
So I was like,
People's Day.
So I was like, well, if it's always that weekend, hey, maybe we could not make it work. But the point is that like when I hear people say this is different, when I hear you say this is different, to me this feels very the same. Like having a CNC
absolutely.
Is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And having like, well, it's just it's not crazy. It's just like I wouldn't put a CNC in my shop. I just wouldn't. Just and
you can wall mount them.
There was a time when I wanted one, of course. Back when I thought I wanted one, but I didn't have space.
I didn't want one. I wanted two.
And Dan's got two now. So Marquetry, like obviously
spelled with a Q.
Yeah, there's a Q, and it's exactly where you'd expect it.
Marquetry.
So
Marquetry, yeah.
You started doing a lot of that. A lot of your most recent work has been very heavily in Marquetry. Is that paying the bills? And I mean in the shop, because I know you've got a traditional job as well, but is that what's kind of paying the bills right now, or are you just doing a lot of experimentation and seeing what sells and stuff?
I have a kind of weird setup, right? So in terms of like how I, let's say, finance my lavish lifestyle of
this is such a weird setup, and I can't wait to be let down with just how normal it is. But it sounds like you commit crimes.
I run a ring of Girl Scout cookie sales.
No.
I have some non-traditional financing. I'm
like, where's no? It's. I mean, so I don't really sell many things. So like, you're not gonna, it's. I do commission work here and there, but I'm not the type of person that's trying to push out things. So like, you're not going to see me do production runs of things. Like I'll do them occasionally, and like I hate every second of it. I don't really like doing a lot of commission work necessarily. I'm okay with some of it. When I do get commission work for the marquetry, yeah, it pays like crazy. I mean, it's very expensive work. I did I I did a portrait for the electrician that wired this shop, and that covered it. So it's an expensive. Nice. It takes a lot of time. Is the thing. I say this when I teach it. It's a skill that can be acquired, but the one thing that you're not going to ever get rid of, like you can get more efficient at it, but it's still like you want to do a portrait of someone's face that's going to be, 250 to 350 individual pieces of wood. Like you do the math, right? But the big way that it pays the bills, I suppose, is, those, like going back to the beginning, like the public events, speaking engagements. Like I write for lots of magazines, and I'm writing a book on marquetry right now, or going to be writing a book on marquetry right now. So that covers that. And that has like an advance associated with it, and there are royalties and things.
This is gonna be Dumb Book 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Dumb Book 2. Yeah. I mean, it's the one that honestly, like the first one, I didn't go out trying to write a book. Someone messaged me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to write a book?" And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, why not? Because
it happens every week. I just choose to say no.
I mean, honestly, that's
I get that.
You could have told me that and I would believe you, because at this point, because that's how it happened. I made a ton of boxes, like just like there was like 2 years where I was like on Instagram, I was posting like a new box that I was making like once every 3 days, and I'm talking like dovetailed boxes. I'm talking like,
I was gonna say that's a good way to get good at joinery.
Yeah. I mean, like I've cut thousands and thousands of dovetails by hand, without a doubt. Like thousands of dovetails by hand, no doubt. Like I could cut a dovetail in front of you and talk to you without thinking about it, just because I've done it so many times. So they asked me to write the book on it, and I didn't really necessarily like trying to. The marquetry one I want to, though. That one I'm like, because I got a lot to say. I mean, I had a lot
opinions.
Obviously, I got a lot to say, because I won't shut the hell up. But
it's a very controversial topic, marquetry. So.
Marquetry.
Yeah. The good news is, Dan, you and I never have to worry about like horning in on the marquetry space that Albert's living in, because there's no way that we would hit even like 1/10 of the way through the 300 pieces before we lost patience, and before that lost pieces. So Albert, you're safe.
The pieces in
your space.
I had to put together a 3-piece table today, and it
he lost 2 of the pieces.
Yeah.
The thing about it though is that at least the way that I do it. So there's a couple ways of doing marquetry where you may have seen before, where it's people sitting in front of a table where they have like tons and tons of tiny pieces of veneer, right? And they're like taping them together, right? And it's just an absolute mess, right? I work very differently, and like I showed you all this before we got started, but like this is a piece I'm working on now, and for people who are listening, this is just it's a flower, and it's basically just a sheet of veneer, and I've just inserted different veneers for where the stem is now. And what I mean by this is that yes, it's a lot of pieces, but it's one piece at a time, right? So it's like,
and do you scroll saw the pieces out one at a time, or?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do it with a fret saw.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing as a scroll saw. It's just I power it with
manual.
He's looking for the saw.
I was going to say, so
that's good.
Is marquetry basically like the scroll saw pictures that like there's scroll saw people are doing, but like flatter, 2-dimensional instead of thicker, like thinner, like they're going thinner.
So there's a couple differences. They're similar. So the scroll saw people that are doing those things, I would call that intarsia, where that's more 3-dimensional, right? And usually what they'll do is they'll where pieces meet, they'll have some type of shaping, right? So it'll be there'll be the contour there, right? that is usually, those pieces are usually just glued next to each other and cut out separately. So
and what did you call it again? It was Intarsha.
Intarsha.
I was googling.
So Lizzie and Ashley and them are just Intarsha artists.
That's what I would call it. And when you're doing that, you're basically taking a pattern, right? And you plop it down on a piece of paper, right? And you cut out those pieces all individually, and then you glue it all together. Marquetry is, yes, it is similar in that it's, flat, right? Most of my work is flat. Some of my work is not flat. Most of my work is flat. But what I'm doing there is instead it's inserting veneers into a background veneer, kind of. So like it's really more. Like really what I'm doing is taking, like with marquetry, I'm taking one sheet, like a regular sheet of veneer, and making it like wild by taking other pieces of veneer and sticking them inside of there into voids in there. So like if you look at the back,
show the back of it. Yeah.
Okay. I need the back through.
He's not layering them.
Sorry. Yeah. So like
he's literally mortising out the veneer.
Yeah. I'm mortising out the veneer. Exactly. And the way that it works is the mortise or the hole, the void that's left in that veneer, it has sloped walls. Okay. That's why my table's angled. If you can tell here, it's angled at about 8 degrees.
I thought it was just poor craftsmanship.
No, excuse me. I dovetail my marquetry tables.
I saw that earlier.
Thank you very much.
So you actually angle it on purpose.
I do it by hand, but it's when you're cutting it. When I'm cutting that mortise out, right? So like I'm moving my saw up straight up and down, but my table's angled, right? So the mortise that gets cut out of there has angled walls. And I'm also cutting the piece that's going to fit into it at the same time, right? So I stack veneers, cut both at the same time. And what that angle does is it makes the piece that's going to fit into that mortise ever so slightly bigger so that it accounts for that kerf. That's why when you look at this, I don't have to tape those pieces in. They're glued in.
For just a second, I thought you were doing the pieces separately and you were just freehanding this. I was just like, you know what? No, I don't want to talk about this anymore. You machine.
No, that's nuts.
So it's kind of like the cutting board inlays, but on a very, very thin millimeter thin cutting board.
I love how we're trying to find what this is like equal to in our brains.
Well,
like here's what the caveman version of this thing is.
So how come would you ever do it with like a laser?
I was trying to think of like, okay, this is how the bit in the CNC would be the same thing.
So the thing is that the laser will okay, yeah, but the thing is that you have to account for the kerf, right? Because even if you're cutting it with the CNC, right? Let's say we slap these suckers down on a CNC, right? Two veneers stacked on top of each other, right? And you take a straight bit or an end mill bit or whatever the hell you CNC people use. I don't know what the hell you use.
It's a V-bit, but
V-bit, whatever the hell it is. Okay, I've never used one. I
call it a your mom bit, but
I've literally never used one, so I'm totally.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But if you go down, right? Let's say you could have that cut. Let's say it's a 32nd of an inch in diameter, and it's a straight cutter. Okay, and you cut straight down. Well, the void that's left in one of those veneers and the piece that you want to fit into it, it's not going to fit. It's going to pass right through because of that kerf, right? Or the diameter of the router bit. So what I'm doing here is like the angle of this table is making so how I say it is think about it like a pyramid, right? The base of a pyramid is wider than the next row up because the sides are sloped, right? If those sides were straight, it would be the same. Now we slope the sides. That makes that bottom piece ever so slightly bigger. So what I'm doing here is I'm angling my table.
You're tapering it. Yeah, you're just creating a taper.
Yeah, and it's all geometry, right? So the angle here is it's a function of the thickness of my veneer and the kerf, right? So there's a little bit of experimentation, but like it doesn't take much. Like this piece I haven't even glued in. Like that I cut out, right? And then it fits in from behind like a cork.
That's crazy for it being freehand cut, basically.
Well, you're cutting them at the same time, right? So like so you're stacking them. stacking.
As you cut both at once.
Oh,
So basically, he could cut out any shape he wants, and it'll
Very
still
cool.
fit.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense
so
now.
the only way you get gaps, right, is if your cutting technique is off, right?
Or
That's
if you go to the mall.
or if you go to the mall, or you could end up in a Banana Republic, but I'm gonna stop right there.
Well, like, how do you get your blade through it? Do you have to like drill a tiny hole first to?
Yes. But the thing that's cool about this is so those veneers are stacked, right? And you can actually situate your drill bit so that it enters so the way I like to think about it is when I'm stacking veneers, if I have a top veneer and a bottom veneer, right? And I'm cutting out a piece, there is a section of this top veneer that I'm going to throw away. And there's a section of the bottom veneer that I'm not necessarily going to throw away, but I don't need.
It'll be
right?
waste.
It'll be waste, right? Let's call it waste. I can drill my hole strategically on the border and angle it so that it enters the waste in one piece and also enters the waste in the other. And I know it sounds like it's not possible, but it's totally possible.
Oh, no. I've seen the documentary Wanted featuring Angelina Jolie. That's exactly
they
what
could
you're doing.
curve
You're,
bullets,
you're
so yeah.
curving the drill bit.
I mean, this piece right here. This is flour. I don't know how many drill holes I drilled in that, but if you can see, a drill hole, they're tiny little drill bits, because my saw blade is super fine, right? So
Super
I only need to
fine.
be able to pass that saw blade through. So I forget what the millimeter size is, but it's under a mil. It's
I'll translate that for you guys later. Don't worry about it.
Millimeter Peter.
Wow, that's a tiny drill bit.
they're tiny, and
is that a hand drill?
Is that a hand drill? I was
Yeah.
gonna say, come on, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, come on. Like, what? See, this is the thing. Okay, this is where people give me crap. You mentioned Sean Kirsch. Sean, years ago, when I was like cutting something in my shop, he gave me shit because he was like, "Oh, you have electricity in your shop," and he's like, "You cheater" or something like that. It's like I don't look. If I took a power drill to this, why would I? Come on, it's the right tool for the job.
Again, I get it. I'm just deeply offended.
For me, it's
Braden
more that like
feels
I didn't
inadequate.
realize that a small
So do I.
handheld screwdriver like that even existed.
Yeah,
Because that's
right.
I'm sorry, not screwdriver.
This
It's
is
a drill.
This
Because to me, that's a screwdriver.
It's a pin vise. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a machinist tool, right? It's just all it's meant to do is hold small little things, right?
Can
That's
I borrow that, or could you send me a link?
These are tight.
Like, get one for Kayla.
These are tight. I don't know.
Exactly, you read my mind.
I don't know if you need to make sure you get one.
Just got an idea for a Christmas gift.
You need to make sure you get one with a 0-inch opening, though.
Right on.
ladies.
So,
Basically, what we're hearing. So, like, we all talk woodworking, but we're at opposite ends of it. It's basically
Complete
like how,
opposite.
yeah,
like somebody speaking like us speaking right now, and somebody speaking English in a Scottish accent. It might as well just be a completely different. Right. It might as well be completely different. But technically, it's the
I
same.
mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
that's the same. I mean, there's a ton of overlap. I think. I mean,
No, you just told us you've got like 1 millimeter that you angle so that you don't have any overlap.
Well,
there's
just
no
enough
overlap.
overlap.
So I will say this, on complete opposite end of the spectrum of what you're doing. I'm
There's some
genuinely
spectrum is
fascinated,
here.
like that
Oh,
you're
this is
stacking them,
fantastic.
that you're drilling through, like you're doing stuff that like we don't ever do or even attempt. But what I will say is like as you're explaining all this, I'm constantly trying to think of how can I do this with fancy laser CNC whatever. And
Okay.
my first thought is, wait, let me finish my thought.
Okay, you
Is-
finish it because I think I've got this.
So, because I've got a CO2 laser, and so what people don't realize, it's not a straight curve to the cut. It actually is a V because it's a beam that focuses to a center and then keeps going, almost making like an X. So it has a point where there is a taper. If you use it's called a 4-inch lens. It's a 4-inch space from that. It's a narrower V, but then there's also a 2.5 inch or whatever. There's like a 1 inch and a 2.5 inch, I think. So depending on which one you choose, you get a deeper V or a shallower V. Technically, if you really, really had a dialed in laser and played around with the settings, you could create a taper. It might be, might not be small enough to catch it. It might be, I don't know. I kind of want to try it just to like say I tried it, not to be like, oh, I can do this with it. No, because this is fascinating that you're doing this and the technique you have.
I think you could do it easier, frankly, on a CNC if I can understand how this shit works. Because theoretically, what you could do is just you could take your shape, right? Mm-hmm. You cut that out. You cut the void out first, mm-hmm. right? And then you just shrink that shape by the size of the kerf all the way around, and then cut it out again.
Yep.
Because you have that kind of control on a CNC, right? Like you could theoretically cut a piece, right?
Shrink it
one
by
size,
kerf
and then shrink it by
actually
the kerf.
You can actually, you don't even have to shrink it. You can put the same thing in, and if you know what the kerf of your cut is, whether on the laser or the CNC, you can just say inside, outside with an offset.
Okay, there you go. Okay, see, yeah. I don't know that kind of thing. So you could,
Braden, you're like losing it over there.
I have this figured out, and I figured out how you can mass produce them at the exact same time.
There goes. Oh, all right, another businessman.
Hey, listen, if we're doing CNC work, let's do some production work. Okay, it's a V-bit. It's an inlay. You basically make an inlay cutting board, a super deep inlay cutting board, and then you plane off the bottom. So what an inlay cutting board? It's a V-bit, and it carves everything around, and then it carves a negative in your other piece, and then you put glue in it, and you compress it, and it basically shoves the piece into that V gap, much like Chris Hemsworth's ab region. And
sorry, we didn't mean to turn this into how can we make your job obsolete?
No. I'm just trying to figure out how
we're nerding out on this now.
This is interesting.
You can plane off the bottom side of that inlay so that you cut off where that glue void is, and then you're to flat, like the opposite side. And then from there, you could bandsaw out your thinner veneered sections of it already made, glued up. Because it would get glue in that tapered edge.
Yeah.
I think it would work.
It makes sense, yeah. And here's the thing: there's ways of doing it that's more automated, but I'm still fascinated by just how you do all this. That's bonkers.
I think there's two reasons why you wouldn't want to. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm not going to say that you can't do it on a CNC because you absolutely can do it on a CNC. But I think
your video idea.
I think you wouldn't want to do it on a CNC. I wouldn't want to do it on a CNC. First off, I think I could do it way faster than you could ever do it on a CNC, even if you had all your setup time and like you had figured it all out, right? And like had figured everything out. I still think I could. Yes. First off, I could beat the pants off of you by just doing something off the hip, right?
You promise?
Like I could yes.
he can do it in one Diet Pepsi.
It'll be the first time.
I was gonna say, how many Diet Pepsis does it take?
So that's the first one. Is like I just do not think this was an efficient thing to be doing on a CNC. Like I just don't, at least for complex patterns, right?
Yeah.
For like for like very simple things, for sure. The other thing, give me a second because I want to grab something.
Oh, visual aids. I love visual aids.
This is why you watch the YouTube channel. There you go.
Visual aids of how we're wrong, as opposed to
he's
just
blurred now.
explaining.
I see everything.
David Picciuto has actually made several videos of him using the laser to do marquetry.
And I'd love to actually try it out. Which, by the way, I learned a fun little trick from someone about. I was cutting small pieces for like the dot on an eye. Mm-hmm. What people do is they buy, it's basically like window screen, but it's super fine mesh, so that when you cut through even small stuff where you have tiny stock that you need to catch, it'll just drop off. It won't fall through the honeycomb. It'll just stay on the metal.
I know that guy.
So that is a portrait that I made of, that's my father-in-law's father. And I just don't think you would be able to get that kind of detail on a CNC. And what I mean is some of these pieces some of the image, like the colors that I have here, are thinner than a saw kerf. Okay. I can leave because of the way that I know this, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Because
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the way that I do this. Okay. there's a layering process here. Okay. And going back to, and this is like,
I get it. So you can't just like take it apart and put it back together. You have to do it in a certain order.
Well, you can if you want to, but what I mean by there's a layering process. So what I want you to if you look at here, a good example is look at the black behind his teeth, at least at the top. Okay. Now above his teeth, right, there's a little bit of black. This is what we're looking at a portrait right now, and it's a very thin line of I guess it would be like a super duper thin line of like rosewood or something above a piece of holly, which would be teeth. Okay. I never cut that piece of rosewood that thin. I cut a much bigger piece and then laid in that piece of holly. So the point I'm trying to make is you can, because I'm inserting a piece and then working back and cutting away, I can leave very, very fine lines behind. I have some pieces that I've done, like I did a hummingbird a while ago where the chest of the hummingbird is like, it looks like strands of like individual fibers of wood are turning on that chest because it is like almost
because you had a bigger piece and then cut away.
Yeah, I just kept cutting away. I mean, and that's why it takes forever.
One other thing that you would run into with like if you did it with a laser, you would have black lines between all the connection points. There would be char marks.
And that would be, and honestly, that's kind of huge in this kind of stuff because not because it matters, because that could be an aesthetic thing. There are other types of marquetry that take advantage of like the fact that you can have a gap. Like if let's say you stack these veneers and you cut them not on that angle, you would have a curve and you'd have to figure out how to stick them together. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll fill those gaps with like ebony, dust, and glue. So you'll see some marquetry that has like, dark outlines and it looks good. It looks great if that's the aesthetic that you're looking for. Yeah. It's just that this is a different type.
Especially if you use Gorilla Glue Ultimate Wood Glue.
There you go.
There you go. I do like too how with marquetry you can take a grain direction and move it around in different directions. And for example, that photo you just held up, his clothes look like fabric catching the light in different, different.
It gives a piece more depth.
Yeah.
From messing with the grain.
From what I'm seeing here is you're changing a lot of the grain directions. And from what I've learned from people on the internet on Dan's posts about cutting boards is that piece of wood is going to explode.
Probably kill your family
right now.
No. So that's why marquetry is marquetry, right? I'm working with veneers because they don't move. Like solid wood, solid wood's going to move like crazy. So like if I did this with solid wood, right, and glued all these together, it would explode because every single one of these, I mean, you're talking, I don't know what the grain direction of this is, which means sanding this thing is real fun.
Hey, you just run it through the planer, right?
Yeah, the drum sander.
Oh boy. Don't run it through the drum sander or else something might catch and you might end up doing something like that.
Ooh.
It's an aesthetic.
Yeah, that's right at the end of I don't know how many hours.
Oh man.
Who knows what?
Oh, what a bummer.
Life is what it is. But
I love how you're taking these like super fine, delicate pieces of art and just like chucking them.
Well, see, that's the thing is that they're not that delicate. It's like and going back, it's I'm using 16th inch thick veneers. So like this gets to the idea of wood movement too, right? So the reason why I'm doing this in veneer is because I'm minimizing wood movement, right? Basically, like this stuff is as dimensionally stable as it's ever going to be, right? At least it's not going to move unless I really bombard it with heat or water or anything like that. So I don't really have to worry about gaps opening up in this over time. Like I made this, I don't know how long ago.
I have a question now. Because it's so thin. Do you ever run into issues of sweat from your hands or whatever warping the piece?
Okay, so these are all great questions. So
that's a very good question.
To get to
good job,
going back to
question school.
So going back to the thickness, I work with 16th inch thick veneers, which are very durable, but that's about the higher end of thickness that I would go ever on a veneer. Anything thicker than that, and you're in like solid wood territory ish, like 3/32 is like going to move a little bit more. Now, the question of like, sweating on it or something like that, if you bombard this wood with, water or dry heat, it will move still for sure. When we say dimensionally stable, it's more like dimensionally stable to the environment, more like, you don't have to worry about this thing, because I made this, for example, I finished this in New Mexico, a super dry environment. And right now I'm literally in between Baltimore and DC, like the armpit of the United States. And
that's a good name for it.
Yeah. There's no issues with the movement there. But your question is a really good one. And it's something that I bring up because one thing that happens in marquetry, and y'all may have seen it if you've looked at more traditional marquetry pieces, you'll see like holly where it's like white and it'll look like it's been like singed at the bottom. You'll see like a little darkening to it. And the way that that's done is by dipping pieces in hot sand. And so if I wanted...
Ramon Valdez did this on his table.
Yeah. So it's a fairly common method. I don't have any pieces that I've done it on because I don't do it very often anymore. But if I wanted these petals to be darker in the center, what I could do is after I cut it out, I could take that veneer and dip it in literally a cast iron skillet of like hot play sand.
Basically, it's just fancy shushugiban, just a little burn.
Pretty much, just a little tiny bit, and it singes it, but it is that because you can sand it, like surface sand it. I mean, and it'll still stay toasted, right? But the problem with that is that you've already cut the mortise, right? That void, and you've already cut the piece, and now you're putting it in hot sand. Well, you could probably guess what might happen depending. Wood movement. So what happens is that piece can shrink on you. And now what ends up happening is that piece that you have purposefully made sure it fits perfectly into that mortise is now too small.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. What, Dan? Did you learn how wood moves?
No. He said the wood shrinks when you get it hot, but why does my wood shrink when I go on a cold pool?
Nope.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I knew it was coming, but I still wasn't.
I mean, it was bound to happen.
Go ahead.
So there are ways.
My work here is done.
There are ways to account for that. There are ways to account for that, and I'm listening. I do account for what I'll do in like a case like that if I can predict that like the wood is going to change dimensions, either through, let's say, getting dyed, right? Like dyeing a veneer will make it larger, right? Because unless you're using some alcohol-based aniline dye, right? But if you're using some water-based dye, it's going to swell that veneer.
Swell up.
Yep. So you can account for that by changing that angle of this table, right? The angle of the tables was determining the size of the piece that I'm cutting. Yep. So like if I know a piece is going to shrink, I'll increase my cutting angle. So it'll be, it just won't fit. And then I'll sand shade it, and that sand shade will bombard it with heat, shrink it a little bit enough to fit it in. Now it's like, this is something that's very hard to teach because it's like, poplar shrinks by this much, maple shrinks by this much. They all shrink differently.
It's something you probably learn over time, like muscle memory.
Well, you know what? You think you would, and to a certain extent you do, but like almost every single sheet of veneer is different. Like I've had sheets of poplar veneer that move like crazy, and I've had ones that like don't move at all. And it's like, what the hell's going on? Like, I don't know why. Like wood's weird. Wood is like weird, and it's like, I don't know. Every single time I work with it,
I will recommend to anyone that goes to a woodworking show of any kind that has like the guilds, right? If there is an inlay or marquetry table, walk up to it and get within like 8 inches of a piece and just try to pick it apart, because the level of
I don't think they'd like you to pick it apart.
No, not
They
take
put
it
a lot of
apart.
put-
Just like try to find like look for the edges, look for the flaws,
Yeah.
look for the burnt sand parts. Like jumping back to like Ramon's table. He was at the Texas Woodworking Festival. I don't know if you guys stopped by, but he gave me and Keith like a quick little TED Talk crash course on all the inlay work and how he got it to do this and that. And he talked about the sand burning and all that. And I was blown away because I found that I've never actually really looked close at a marquetry table or setup or some. I've seen some, like I've held them up, but I've never really appreciated it. And having him explain it and having you explain your workflow on all this, it really truly does give me another level of respect for the craft, because full transparency, I've always looked at it and been like, that's nice. That's like, oh, that's cool. I know it takes a lot of work, but that's whatever. Knowing now what goes into it, like really goes into it, I have a whole new level of respect for it. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of things too. I mean, like there's plenty of things that I see that I'm like, that's nice, but not for me. And then I think I honestly feel like maybe this is more of a me thing, but there's definitely been times where I'll feel a certain way about a certain type of woodworking, and whenever I'm introduced to it, I'm always proven wrong about it. Like there was definitely a time when hate to admit it in front of you guys, but where I thought I was better than people because I used hand tools. Because
he admits it. He admits it on the record.
Well, or that let's say I have more innate skill than someone who uses a CNC, and I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true anymore because of interacting with people who do it. Right? It's like it's easy to have these opinions of things if you aren't interacting with the people or talking with the people who are doing it. It's just like you're just using a different part of your brain. Right?
You're better than a guy with one CNC. But not two.
Okay, not two. You need two.
Not two.
I assume you're the only one with two here.
In this little group, yeah.
Okay, I have two.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you do.
I do have a Jinmitsu.
Doesn't really count. So. It's like one and a
Braden,
half.
We're better than Braden. Look at us.
If both of you guys add your two CNCs together, I still have more cutting space. So
I don't even see. I can't even participate. I don't even know the brands. I don't know the name. I don't know anything about them.
Well, if it was a different week, we could tell you about our sponsor.
All right. Well, jumping back to how you're better than other people. I got a question. I'm jumping back to boxes. Pins or tails first?
Oh, that's easy. Tails.
Okay. Dan, you owe me $50.
I don't even recall.
He didn't know we were betting,
bet.
but he owes me money now.
Pins.
So tails.
I can't.
Pins or tails? Pins.
I feel like pins. I feel like people who cut pins first are like from a different fucking planet.
Psychopaths.
I mean, like I just can't. I have cut thousands of dovetails by hand. I mean, truly thousands. I'm not exaggerating.
How many?
Thousands.
By the way, to anyone that's confused, both parts of like when you're cutting dovetails, it's like a mortise and a tenon, so they both have different names for each board. And
the way that it works, even more than like a mortise and tenon, because a mortise and tenon typically, like a tenon will have a target dimension to it, kind of. But the way it works in dovetails is like one of those is going to be fit exactly to the other without any measurements. It's going to be like transferred to it, right? So that's why when people say like the pins, like I guess I suppose I could cut pins first, but it's like the part where you transfer the location of the pins to the tailboard is like that just is so foreign to me.
First time I saw somebody. Oh, go ahead.
I like to do the pins first because then if the tails are too big, I just dip them in hot play sand.
Oh, there you go. And then you sprinkle them. But that might alter the angle. That's the problem.
First time I saw someone do a whole set of drawers, and they just had the boards. They put down like 8 boards, and then they like made a ramp out of them, and they were just going one after the other, just started banging out all the tails. I'm like, that's insane, and fast too. It's one of those things that I feel like once you've done, like you said, 1,000, you can just bang it out like it's nothing.
I mean, that's why, like, coming back to this donkey thing. Like every single time.
I'm right here.
I know.
His name's Dan.
Are you talking to Eddie Murphy and Shrek?
So every time I make one of these, this is my cutting table for marquetry. So there's always a lot of pressure at the front end of this thing, right? And so typically the way that people make these is, the top is like, just a piece of plywood usually, and then it'll usually just be screwed in
Pocket holes
or something like that. And it's fine if you're using plywood, right? But I usually don't keep plywood in my shop because I don't use a lot of plywood. I just don't use a lot of plywood. I keep solid. This is just white pine, but if I drilled screws in there, that's screws going right into end grain. That thing's gonna pop right out, right? Mm-hmm. So like you're right though. So it's like, well, what's the best and fastest joint that I can cut that's gonna make sure that this thing like never moves? And so like, I mean, I don't know how good this dovetail looks because I never even bothered looking at it. But like you cut it like super quick.
That looks better than any one I've ever done.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's pine, so it'll fit. It's a little easier. But like the fact of the matter is like that's just faster for me than like I don't know. Like I suppose I could get the domino out, but the domino's not going to resist that force in the same way that this. Like that's the thing is like the dovetail's locking that.
Have you heard of my friend the Craig jig?
Well, I mean, the Craig.
They have deck screws now.
honestly, a Craig jig would be better than a Craig jig would work in this case because you'd be able to drill into long grain, right, instead of drilling into end grain,
probably,
right. So
yeah, I mean, there's nothing stronger than a dovetail and something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And if you the point is like if you can cut it. Like I cut this, probably got this joint together in like 15 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah. Have you considered doing a butt joint, but using Gorilla Glue's ultimate wood glue?
I mean, if they want to pay me, I will absolutely.
Just we don't usually show like this. I don't know what Braden's doing. They only paid for 60 seconds.
I did hear about the super glue dots, and that did. There you go. Give them more money.
The puns are there, and I can't just walk past them. I got to look in the window and see how much they're selling that puppy for.
$50.
They got a puppy there.
So speaking of bits, and just to kind of completely change topics here, and bits, our sponsor. So you were super selfish about this, and I originally reached out to you to offer you a platform to harass a brand to try and get into a tool.
Yeah.
How on earth did that start? Because I mean, we heard about some of your feelings on your first
brands.
Yes. Okay. So I've always been a little bit of a rat. And feel entitled to things. So I get the long answer to this is I have been on the internet for a very long time. And I in my 20s, I got really good at being very annoying online and kind of getting what I want. I was semi-professional sports writer at the time on the side for a hockey team, and I like kind of annoyed my way into getting like press passes, and I was sitting in like the press box. So like I know how to do these things. So you just like annoy people the right way, and I saw a sitting duck, and just chose to unleash my fury on them, and it worked. I mean, really, what it was is I needed a bandsaw. And I just
started cyberbullying.
I mean, just like
Harvey Woodworking.
Basically, what happened is like it's like, okay, well, I need a bandsaw, and I was in the market for one because I use a bandsaw all the time, mainly because I'm cutting veneers. Like the marquetry work I do, I cut all my veneers myself. So
once again, better than everyone.
Well, you can't really buy them that thick. They're not really available that thick. So I cut my veneers a lot, and so I was in the market for a bandsaw, and it's like, okay, well, the ones I was looking at were like, I was looking at like the Felder 510, the big boys, and I was looking at like the Mini Max and stuff like that, and then Harvey had that, and they have another one that was cheaper, and it was like, well, like that's like I could like the Harvey one I was actually like interested in. So it was on my list of like things to look at. And then I was like, well, Harvey like sure seems to like to give people tools. So like I'm a person. So like I'm
people.
Can
so, you milk me?
So I just I just kind of kept annoying them. And then I think I just kept tagging them every single fucking time I talk about a bandsaw. And then one day I unleashed on my Laguna because I was so tired of the damn thing. And Harvey eventually was just like, okay, man, like
just stop. Just
like just stop. So yeah, they relented. They sent me that beautiful beast back there. Which
have you guys seen that meme that was like people would do like, hey, I finally got the major brand to message me back, and it would cut to like Milwaukee Tools. Stop tagging us in all these videos.
I mean, the thing that's funny is that like I messaged them like God like a year ago, and it was like it was polite. And he just like they didn't answer, he didn't get back to me, and then I ended up doing a little rat move later, and then like we were just like I was just laughing about it, and I was like, okay, like this guy's fucking fun, like I'm just gonna have some fun, like whatever, like I understand like bandsaws don't grow on trees, like you can't just like pluck one off and give it to like some fucking idiot who says give me a bandsaw. So I was just having fun, and then he was like, actually I'll give you one, and I was like, okay.
I can't believe he broke Jeremy.
You're having better luck than Braden and I.
Good luck.
I remember 2 of your reels very, very specifically, and one of them you had taped a sign on your Laguna that said "very bad bandsaw," and it was just, and the ones that I was seeing, it was just in the background. You weren't even like calling out that you were.
That's how you got to do it, man. That's how you got to do it. Is you just
like
put it in the
on
background.
advertising.
And then the other one was you were talking, and then it like in the middle of it, it almost went to like a "I will remember you, Sarah McLachlan" like commercial, like just a hard cut directly into the. By the way, Harvey, you should send me a bandsaw, and then right back into what you were talking about. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I love this.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And I mean, like. I mean, I'm just like having fun, honestly, and like they sent it, which is nice, and it's nice. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm doing here because like I haven't done this kind of crap before, so I'm just Mr. Online annoying guy, and then now they're giving me crap.
Get online. There's a couple of them out there.
I was gonna say I like that you specifically mentioned the good kind of annoying. See that I'm still trying to figure that one out. So I've just settled into like this nice little hammock of aggressive annoying.
You got to figure it out. It's a sweet spot. It's a sweet spot of like of pissing people off in the right way, like getting them to.
I hate that I love them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious. But again, super selfish of you to not.
I know. I apologize.
We did do our part. We did threaten to give you a platform. So I like to think that
does help. Thing
that's the thing that knocked it into like in the goal.
The word got out.
Yeah.
I told you
the boys are back in town.
I need a new drum sander. I told you that. So and unfortunately, I mean, like I already.
You burned a major bridge, the one that has the most of them.
Yeah, that one.
I don't think Harvey makes the drum sander yet.
I actually called up Laguna to ask them for comment. Because I was like, well, I mean, like, who am I, right? I'm just some random dude, but like, I am kind of trashing them like quite a bit, like publicly, like, and like people are certainly taking notice and like asking me like, why do you hate Laguna so much? It's like, I come from somewhat of a journalism background, so it's like, you should give them a chance to respond, but their customer service is so fucking bad they never got back to me.
That's super weird, Pete.
Yeah,
that's super weird that we're hearing that for the first time.
Wow, it's crazy. I've never heard that before.
Is it kind of like a, hey, this is Star-Lord calling for comment, and they just, who?
So,
Come on,
by the way,
Star-Lord,
here's
man.
what you should do. To forget all those, Laguna. You want a drum sander? I got a Ryobi one. Dude.
Like an
Those
old school
exist.
Ryobi,
One of those
like
old
back when they made
ones.
tanks.
So back when there was a short amount of time
it's
where
great.
Supermax, I guess, licensed
Oh,
or the factory that they were coming out of, other brands got their hands on. So they all
Sometimes
have that
one would
like
fall off a truck.
the archway design, like the classic Supermax. But it was a gray body, and it literally looks like I think Jet had one, and Grizzly, and like all these random brands had it. And this was a
Benny.
Ryobi one. And now we have now seen multiples that people have found. I got it for like $200 too. And it's a 1632. It's great.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's old, but she runs, man.
I have a Delta one. It's just not.
Oh yeah, Delta's another. That's right. Delta jumped on like a lot of stuff. What are they doing these days?
Nothing.
Oh,
They're stealing my reels and reposting them without tagging. Sorry, that didn't sound bitter.
I'm genuinely like, wait, they make new tools still? Or
They
what?
do, but
They sell mostly at Lowe's.
Oh, that's right. They had the table saw and stuff.
I will
table
say
saw
that
and
T2 table
miter
saw,
saw and stuff.
in terms of like a contractor to cabinet middle ground, like hybrid saw, nice. Immediately bought out of it though into something bigger.
Oh, they do.
What
have
I
the
think you should
Cruiser,
do,
that
Albert,
slider,
though,
too.
like with this whole drum sander like thing, I think that you should just stick to sanding by hand since you're better than us at everything else.
No,
so, you want to be a hand tool boy. Let's be a hand tool boy.
If you want to know the truth, I've been doing marquetry for like 5 years now, and I've been cutting my own veneers for 5 years, and I've only owned a drum sander for about 6 months.
I'm imagining you using a flattening sled, but it's with a sander.
No,
So
you want
like
to know how you
it
do
can only go so deep to get the flatness.
It's way simpler than that. It's just you set your bandsaw up to cut exactly 16th inch thick veneers, and you hope for the best.
I just like to think of him using a 5-inch random orbital, and like just it goes off a little bit. Just shit.
Nah.
Shit.
No, I would just resaw right to 16th of an inch. It's not fun. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks because if that blade fishtails like at all, like at all,
and
at all,
new one
like
you got,
even if it has 10 points of contact on the blade.
That's a 14. Is that a 14-inch?
This is a 15.
15-inch. Oh, of course. That's a
15, and like I you can't like. I mean, it's gigantic. It's 700 pounds.
Wait, Dan, you don't have the 18, right? Yours is the 14. Okay, the 18, like Laguna, the 18 has like the wheel is so big because it's meant for like thicker blades, and I found that it like it stayed dead flat on or way more flat or not flat, but like it didn't deviate as much. Whereas the 14 sometimes, unless you really dial it in. I go full on to like the full Alex Snodgrass dialing in.
Yeah.
Like you remove the table or get it all kind of loose and just do one thing at a time. But yeah, those guys do suck.
That thing is going to be, I mean, like, honestly, that I want to do more on that saw because like, I think like, frankly, I think Harvey's not marketing it properly, like at all. Like, I think they're focusing too much on the touchscreen thing. And like talking about AI. That kind of stuff. Yeah, well, the thing about it is that like the guide bearings on that thing are unlike anything I've ever seen in my entire life. They're unbelievable. They're unreal. They're so nice. Like you would not believe how easy it is to set the guide bearings on that thing. And like they're just not really like talking about it. And like I don't really get it. Like, and also like I posted something the other day about how the motor stops when you turn it off. It stops. The blade stops. It just stops.
I love that.
Okay. And it's like that's not new. It's not something that they came up with. There have been machines that do that before, but that's super uncommon in the United States. Like, how many times have I turned my bandsaw off? I want to grab the little scraps from the table.
Blade brakes need to be more of a thing. Like my crappy little DeWalt circular saw. The second I take my hand off of it, full stop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I wish more tools had that, especially with the table saw. Sometimes you're waiting for that.
Yeah, that's a little
like come on.
I mean, the bandsaw is a bad one. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in I've been in like huge shops with like 36
Oh no,
inch.
even my old I had a Delta, of course. So I had a Delta for years, and there was no stop on that. You just sit there and wait.
Oh,
and and of course it was lubed up well because I restored it. Everything it would just go forever.
I mean, if you get, I've been on like a 36-inch bandsaw once.
Oh no,
with like a 1.25 inch like resaw blade, and like you just don't turn that thing off until you're done with it for the day, because like there's no brake on that thing.
They're just gonna
stop those flywheels. Those flywheels are huge. Like you want to try and stop that with your foot. Mm-hmm. Good luck. But anyway,
no, I'm actually sick that day when it gets turned on. I don't want to be in the room.
But I mean, having those good, like having that brake, having those guide bearings, like those are like the real things about that saw. That like I don't know why, but
like the disc brake on my bandsaw like changed my life. That was
yeah.
Awesome.
I didn't have one on the 1412, and like I got used to it. I mean, I did the lazy guy thing, which is open up the door, jam a stick in there. In the upper cabinet.
I just think my offcut and be like, oh,
I'm just going to saw 18 more things.
Yeah,
my brake doesn't work anymore.
What did you do, Dan?
I think it's just packed with dust.
I was going to say, classic.
When's the last time you opened the bottom of it?
Oh, don't say this.
It's been a minute.
Oh my god!
I don't know. Dan and I need another.
Record it because it's going to be a satisfying reel of layers.
I need to change the blade soon, so.
Dan and I need another million hit rage bait reel, so we'll probably blow that one out like we did with your saw stop. We're gonna have to haul that out before it gets too cold.
Sounds good.
Dan rides his tools wet or rides them hard and puts them away wet.
Oh, I am the opposite, as you can.
Yeah.
You'd have an aneurysm if you saw my shop.
In Thunder Road when they rent the cars, like they take the rentals and they race them.
I don't watch French films. Sorry.
Oh, this is about NASCAR. It's not. There's nothing French about it.
A NASCAR. It's because French.
Pete,
no,
please just kick. There's a big red X in the corner of your screen. Please hit
That's fine. Why don't I do this though? All right. Why don't we jump into a quick little what's on the bench? I want to hear what he's working on and what we've got. We'll keep it nice and tight because we got a couple questions. Maybe we can squeeze them in too. So let's do this.
What's on my bench?
Dan.
Yeah?
What's on your bench? Keep it tight.
Nick Brim's tables.
Hey, there's the answer we're all looking for.
I picked up some wood for the tops of those tables from Omaha Wood Co. Oh my God. They're going to be so gorgeous someday when I get them done. Telling you. Going to be so gorgeous. The figure in this walnut is unbelievable. It would probably look amazing as marquetry. I'll send you my scraps. Sound good?
I'm the scrap man.
Wait, hold on. No. No.
That confused me.
You don't get to send scraps to places.
You don't get to
they have to go through
Dan's pain. Get out of here.
They have to go through a rigorous authentication process to become
Braden sells off
trademark.
Dan's scraps to make money for the team.
I don't get any of the money.
Yeah, there's that.
You get my friendship, and that's worth more to you.
Yeah, and tables. I can't get caught up. I don't know what's happening. It's not looking good for the holiday season. I'll tell you what.
You got to hire help.
Well, here's Paco. Really? Yeah. About that.
Seasonal help.
I'm not like. I'm in this weird spot where like I'm not making enough money to where I can afford help.
Part time.
Maybe I could get one of my children to come help me. Maybe.
This week's topic: slavery.
6, 7. That's it. That's my life. Short and sweet.
Just tables.
Yeah. I want to hear what Albert's working on, other than the marquetry he's already showed us. But
I mean,
maybe there's more.
There is more. There's always more. I'm working on a million things. I have in my storage area, so that it's not in my shop. I'm working on a large blanket chest. I build a lot of those, or I try to do large casework pieces like throughout the year, just to keep me going. So that's something that actually is for my mother, because my mother is the reason why I have this shop. So I'm building her this like nice dovetailed blanket chest. I built a few of them in the past. Yeah, just got that. And then I was working on some articles earlier today because I write a lot. So that was on the bench, I suppose.
Technically, bench. What's on your bench is like a metaphor for what's happening in your life. No,
I get that. I mean, like, there's a lot. And then woodworking wise, God, what's the other woodwork? Oh yeah, I'm going down to my friend Shay's open house tomorrow. There's that. There's that.
Oh,
it's a big fun things. There's fun things all happening. So
speaking of open house, there's an open house this Sunday, Braden, over at Dan's. Not mine.
Your Dan in your house is always
different.
Open.
Dan's Custom Sawmill.
Oh, Bellevue Dan.
This Saturday, there's an open house at WTB Woodworking. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of open houses, guys.
You just start going and like rattling doorknobs. You find just tons of open houses.
Let me in. Braden, what's up? What's up with you? What's on your mind?
I'm gonna keep it tight. I am catching up on some cutting board orders, which is very odd because I don't normally get cutting board orders, and I thought I'd walked away from that life, but here I am. Dan and I are just about to launch into craft fair season, which every year.
Does Dan know that?
I've warned.
I try not to.
Every year we tell ourselves we're going to do better. And every year we lie to ourselves.
Every year I do worse.
Actually, this year we're set up to do worse than normal in terms of preparation.
Yeah.
Because we're starting off with one of the big ones. And
great.
As we've told anybody that has listened in the past, at least through craft fair season last year, Dan and I are not craft fair people. We just do it to give our wives a break from us for
is that why we do it?
A couple hours.
My wife gets a perpetual break from me.
It's a good excuse for Dan and I to sit around and high five and eat lunches from food trucks.
That's true.
But we've got one of the bigger ones, and it's fall, so we can't even just like phone it in like the spring ones. So, Dan, we've got some work to do.
Luckily for you, I have a new product, and it's really easy to make, and I can pump out a bunch of them.
Is it wood scraps?
No, it's margarita boards.
Oh, wow. What a great idea. I wonder where you got that from.
I just thought it up one day.
We have reached a new milestone on the built-ins. Dan, just a heads up, we did that.
Cool.
We did that. You were there. All the shelves are in
spirit.
We are at the point where we just need doors and we need face frames on the uppers.
Wow.
And then I have to do all the LED work, but all the wires are run, shelves are built.
And the finishing.
And we've got to do finishing. But I can't wait to spray that with my Fuji Minimite 4 sprayer from WTB Woodworking. Man, I really am shilling hard this week.
You are. More than I would jokingly.
More than normally.
Speaking of shilling, we also announced the Midwest Maker Meetup a couple days ago, boys.
May 2nd. Mark your calendars.
Yeah, Albert, you were talking about everybody in the fall, like overlapping events. The good news is spring is just completely wide open. And so what you should do is May 2nd, come to the Heartland, come to Omaha, Nebraska. It's popping.
There'll be tens of people.
Dozens of us.
Dozens of people.
But
man, look at the wonder on his face.
You know what?
I just got back from Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
You were close.
Yeah. That's where woodworking in America was.
And I've never been to that. I mean, I've also just never been to many parts of the country. I'm very poorly traveled. But you know, I mean, like every place is the same. It's like, you know, I was walking around Des Moines. It's like it's a mid-sized city.
Here's the difference. Des Moines doesn't have the #1 zoo in the country.
Okay.
So, and it's also not going to have, again, dozens of woodworkers
There you go.
In May specifically.
It's gonna be.
Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I absolutely tickled myself pink making the reel for that. If you notice, the transitions and the changes actually hit the beats. And I'm
still mad at the Instagram formatting. It pissed me off. I was so excited about that reel, and
Instagram is
Braden
designed.
Made a lovely reel to music and everything, and the text happened to be close to the edge when he made the video. And when you post on Instagram, whatever your phone records isn't what it does it because it like squishes it and whatever. So we like lost letters on there, and I'm just thought Instagram do better.
What pisses me off the most is I do all of that in CapCut in an aspect ratio that is specifically designed for Instagram.
It doesn't matter.
That is
and it's
so
just
annoying.
like, and Instagram's just like, oh hey, I found this at Kmart. It was on special. Would you like it? Christmas gift.
Meanwhile, they just added. Speaking of Instagram, they just added Meta AI to stories, so you can like take a photo and be like, remove these people from this blah blah. Like, and now it's just, I'm like, okay, now it's not even.
AI is destroying lives.
It's destroying lives. It's the worst.
Anyway, that's what I got on my bench this week. Pete, what are you doing?
So, my name is Pete, and I am working on stuff.
Neat.
So I made some progress on the camper last week. Got some stuff prepped for the trip. So I seed out all
Did you paint something black?
No, so I pulled out the 4x8 sheet of Formica that will spring open violently, just a heads up. And we ended up cutting it out or contact cementing it to a bunch of like the tabletop, the fronts for the all the drawers and stuff. So I still have to edge band everything, or I have to make my own edge banding out of the Formica. So I got to cut it up. But basically, it's starting to really come together. It looks really nice back there. I wanted to make sure it was a little water resistant, and adding all the black to it just made it look like really sleek and professional, and I love it. So I got to finish that up. I got to install the doors.
About time you smoothed up your back end. You know
yeah, exactly. And I'm waiting for every time we've had nice weather for the last like 2 months. We've either been packing to go on a trip, leaving on a trip, away, or busy. So I'm finally getting some nice weather next week. We're gonna finish the inside because I wanted to do it in some decent non-wet, non-cold weather. So that's gonna be exciting to get that finished up at least. And then we'll probably paint the exterior in the spring when it gets nice again. So we'll see about that. But made some progress on that. Went camping with Justin from Campfire Woodworks.
Your new best friend.
Our second oldest patron after John Grubb. Yeah, not my new best friend, just my best friend. You know, just saying.
Oh,
you guys are best friends too. It's okay. Don't be jealous.
I can't wait to mess with the mixing valve in the shower when you come.
You've already
in May.
You know, I had friends that would like do pranks or whatever. I got rid of all those friends because I don't need that in my life. And now I have these buttholes back in my life. And when Braden comes to my shop, every time I'm in there, I find another stupid banana or sticker. I've thrown out so many stickers and bananas, but who put them all over my shop? Yeah. Dan, I found yours the other day too. And
which one?
The one inside the dust collector.
Which one?
The one dust collector. But anyways, that's been it. Just been cleaning up my shop. I'm prototyping some new ornaments and stuff on the Wheat Crate laser. And I found some flaws with that software. I'm a little annoyed with the software because I had text that wasn't text. It was text that I like traced out from another design that I made because I couldn't find the font. And when I put it in, I select all the text and I go fill. It fills everything. So if it's like an E that has the circle in the middle, it fills that in too.
Oh,
and there's no way to not have it like do the negative.
Negative.
Yeah, so it's annoying. This is stuff you don't have to worry about, Albert, because this is, CNC stuff. You don't have to. You do your own fill work.
So what you're saying is when you hit start, it's not gonna be E.
The only Phil he has a problem with is the guy down the street.
So
whose name's Phil.
We have Phil's at home. But that's that. So I've just been kind of prototyping some stuff and working on a trailer and not packing for once because we're done traveling. So I'm very excited about that.
After Maker Camp coming home, I'm done traveling for good.
We had the craziest 2 months of just every weekend was some kind of travel. I lived out of bags for too long. So I'm happy to be done. It was fun events, but just nice to take a break. All right, so I guess we should jump into let's do some quick questions, I guess. If only I remembered which one of these was our new thing. This one?
Go Black.
No, that's the bad one.
No, that's the good one.
That's the bad one. Shut up.
Go Black.
Okay, why do I not have the new audio? Damn it, Dan.
The universe doesn't want you to get rid of it.
Whatever. Oh, this is it.
Ask and wait, don't be coy. Time for the questions with the AWP boys.
Nah, Black Betty's better.
No, it's awful.
Fight me.
Especially the guy that sings it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple questions from last week. We're gonna just rapid fire through these. Let's start with the one that Alex called in for our guest, Alex Adams.
Hey guys, this question is for Albert. What distinguishes an alpha woodworker such as yourself versus a beta woodworker such as Shay? And does purchasing your book automatically make someone an alpha woodworker?
Ooh.
It's kind of a mindset, more than anything, an inability to listen to anybody, inability to stop when people tell you to stop repeatedly, and no, buying the book is not going to get you there. Absolutely not. Don't. In fact, don't buy the book.
Use code AWP at checkout.
I feel like your answer to that was kind of pointed. Like you had a specific memory.
I don't know if I do.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you referencing the song by the Fallout Boys?
Who me?
No. Wait. Ooh.
Yeah, Dan.
No.
No?
Isn't that Thanks for the Memories? Isn't that Fallout Boys?
I don't know.
I don't listen to early 90s rap.
Do you forget how old I am?
I just figure however long time is
Dan's
minus
old enough
10
to dream
seconds.
in black and white, okay? All right, next question is from MV Woodshop.
If someone is able to go to one fall-based maker event, would you recommend Maker Camp or Texas Woodworking Festival?
I love both, but I'm gonna firmly go with Maker Camp. It is where my heart is. I loved Texas. Honestly, I can't wait to go back next year, but Maker Camp's where it's at. Or you can go the Woodworking Guild thing in Iowa, whatever. I mean, that is a great show. Like if you're into, I mean, it's more heavily hand tools, right?
It's not like the other ones. No, I mean, like it's more of a, sit down in a room and listen to people like talk kind of thing. And yeah, it's definitely geared towards more like the hand tool crowd. It's not trying to like Maker Camp is probably trying to appeal to a different crowd, and then like
absolutely
the Texas Woodworking Festival is kind of like a broader appeal, I'd say. Right, and then like Woodworking in America is like its own like little like it feels like
better than everyone else. That's where you.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that because it's like, well, I mean, like how many people were
if
there?
You're an alpha,
it's okay.
Yeah,
Pete was more than happy to say it for you.
It's more of like I say it's more of like an academic type thing because, well, first off, it's really expensive. Like the it's not exactly cheap to get into woodworking in America. So like everybody's sitting there is like.
Do you have to bring your own monocle, or do they provide them at the door?
I was actually like, I when they invited me, I was like, because I got invited to speak by Logan Whitmer, he's the editor in chief of Popular Woodworking. So I know Logan fairly well, and he he asked if I would just go there and just like demonstrate during like a happy hour thing, and I was like, sure. And then he asked like, would I come and like actually speak? And I was like, yeah, I guess okay. But when I said that, I was like a little concerned because I'm a little different than most of those people in the crowd. Like
different, definitely an age gap between
like
the audience.
I mean, like
and the speaker, too.
Logan, when he first talked about me on his podcast, they have the shop notes for popular woodworking. He described me. I remember them telling me, someone told me that I was on there. He described me as the entire week they were shooting the articles with me. I wore my Corn branded Adidas. I was eating out of a giant bag of Skittles because I'm a vegetarian, but I eat like a 5-year-old. And I was vaping the entire time.
What a diet! Like, what a diet!
That compared to like the normal like woodworker at Woodworking in America is a little jarring. So I had to ask him. I was like, "Do you need me to like, put the monocle on, or can I show up like, like a full on dumbass?" And he's like, "You can be a dumbass," and I did. I was a dumbass.
Did anybody refer to you as a whippersnapper?
No, I didn't get that. I do get a lot of
get off my lawn.
I'm surprised that I do go to a lot of these events, and it does tend to be older men for sure. But I'm actually surprised at how friendly many of them are. Like I never thought like a lot of them would be, because like some of those I've been to some tool swaps for like hand tools and stuff like that, and it's like, man, those guys are like rough crowd. But,
mean.
Yeah, they're not nice. They're really mean. I've
dealt with some mean people at some of the woodworking shows.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you got to be careful because again, like I said before, the hand tool people think that they're better than everyone. They really do. But there's some of them that do.
Yep. So if you're an alpha, you go to that. If you like, a classic good woodworking show with a modern touch and then good nightlife after the show, you go to Texas. And if you're not an alpha or don't like nightlife, well, you're a power bottom, you go to Workbench Con. I'm sorry, Maker Camp. Your Workbench Con is dead. It's gone. But Dan, what would you say? Because you seem to disagree with me when I said Maker Camp.
No, I have a hard time picking between the two.
They're so different.
Yeah, they are they're pretty different. Maker Camp's more hands-on, it's more outdoorsy. And like Pete said, that Texas is fun, and it's kind of a convention where you can walk the floor and see all these other like displays and people showing you how their tools work and stuff. But the nightlife is fun, I'll tell you that.
You got Pine Bear and Makerfest too, but that's more like you go there as a vendor to support friends. It's a fun day trip, but maybe
if I had to pick though, I would definitely pick Maker Camp just because I like the atmosphere and the area better.
You like Petrie Camp.
Yeah.
And Braden, what do you think?
It's a tough decision. There's karaoke at both.
Mm-hmm.
There's Maker's Way Jeff at both.
Mm-hmm.
I liked wearing shorts at the Texas Woodworking Festival as opposed to being cold
it was a little
at Maker
too
Camp.
Hot. Just the hair.
I prefer to be cold.
I would much rather be hot than cold. I hate being cold to my core.
Cold than hot.
You guys are wrong. But that's okay. I still love you. I'm still probably going to go with Maker Camp. But I loved Texas Woodworking Festival.
And I will say, branch out too. Like, these are our go-tos. These are our favorites. If you're on the East Coast, the Coney Island Maker Fair was happening. I think it's actually happening this weekend or last weekend.
Is that the one with the hot dogs?
Yes. Yep. It used to be the East Coast Rep Rap Festival. That's basically a 3D printing festival that was happening end of September. There's, I think, a couple of events in the LA area as well that happen around this time of the year. So, branch out, look around. There is some other things that you might want to attend that might be kind of more specific to the genre you like. So, because again, all these events are very different.
But not in the spring. There's only one spring, early summer event.
Midwest Maker meetup. That's it.
Wait, that's in May.
May
2nd.
2nd.
You're free. I just checked. You're free.
Yeah.
I want to check because the org I work for is having an event, and I wonder if it's the same weekend. I wonder if they did that.
If you need to, we can offer you a speaking gig for it.
I was
the pay
going
is
to offer him a
awful.
doctor's note.
Let me see.
can get you
I'm trying to see, when is this? May 2026 is all they're saying.
Oh yeah. See, ours is just May 2nd of
May 2nd.
2026. So
Perfect temperature.
Well, I'm already
quite cold.
speaking at this one. Like, I'm literally already on the.
We'll let you write an article for ours.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
The good news is ours won't pay better.
Oh, nothing pays.
Yeah.
Ours
Oh, good. So you're not expecting.
Yeah.
to pay
Oh,
$10,000.
good. You're right in our budget.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
Woodworking in America pays.
We got to look into that, guys.
Yeah, in monocles.
right.
We can drop you off at the entrance to the world famous Henry Doorly
Aquarium.
Zoo. So
Zoo. Gotcha.
And we need to make raccoon chicken happen.
We
this
do have
year.
to
we do.
Raccoon
We should
chicken
make a reservation to the dive bar outside of town.
Honestly, Dirty Reds or whatever we went to.
Dirty Birds, you
it was great. That was
monster.
fantastic. That was very good.
You speak their name correctly, or I will strike.
Come into
you.
my house.
You get
Say my
fried
chicken
chicken's
sandwich
name right.
All right,
Christina!
speaking of Dirty Birds. Alex Adams again. Got last question, and then we can get out of here.
Speaking of dirty birds,
Hey guys, I have an epoxy question for you. So I'm making a bench for a customer out of a walnut slab that's about 8 foot by 20 inches. And the live edge is relatively straight on most of it, so it's not going to be that big of an issue. But there's one corner where the live edge essentially cuts off and rounds off. So then it leaves this kind of triangular gap on the corner that I plan on filling with epoxy. So each kind of leg of these triangles would end up being around like 5 or 6 inches. And so it wouldn't be like a super big epoxy pour, but I'm concerned about making sure that the mold that I set up for this doesn't leak. Because I don't want to do a mold for like the entire slab because it would waste a bunch of epoxy, but I want to be able to get the mold so that it's sealed properly just locally around that area. And I was curious how you guys would do that.
Well, since we're all epoxy experts,
I would run a bead of caulk around the area you want and then smush like a piece of MDF covered in tuck tape into that so that like at least you got some sort of seal around where you're looking to pour. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not good at explaining. Chris over at Four Eyes Furniture does it that way like a lot of times. So if you go just like watch any one of his videos, you could probably see what I'm talking about.
as long as you make a tight enough seal with tape, you can kind of retain a lot of it. But if you want to like build a wall first and then like shape it afterward, basically like pour it in there, shape it afterwards. I saw someone recently use like shaping clay or Play-Doh essentially. It was like modeling clay or something like that to make a form that would kind of conform more to what they were trying to get. Or they were doing it off a live edge slab. But yeah, Dan's right. Like that, do something like that. Just squish it in there so you can't go any further. You just want to make sure you're not leaking out somewhere. Obviously, you know.
Great.
I guess have any other recommendations on that? I mean,
wait.
I think
Albert said he did epoxy once upon a time.
yeah, Albert, you've got probably more epoxy experience than all of us combined.
Oh yeah. Tons. None. I can't help you out here.
Oh,
Can't.
But I think caulking is going to be your friend here to make caulking, make a nice dental dam. Yeah.
Have we considered
Braden.
spray foam and spray foam accessories? No, yeah. I mean, I was going to suggest doing the two things that you guys did in combination.
He just trying to get? Paint me a picture here. If I'm getting this right, is he just trying to get a corner to be squared up, or is he trying?
I don't understand to be.
If it's a
perfectly
live
honest.
I think he's talking about like he's trying to fill like that.
Yeah. If it's that, then some HDP or some like MDF with the tape, whatever the.
Oh,
okay. MDF, you monster.
But either way,
get some melamine.
Or melamine, yeah. Or HDP, just a couple pieces of it if you have that laying around. But honestly, caulking is your best friend with that stuff because it just doesn't leak past it. It's
when I said seal. MDF earlier, I think I should have said melamine. Yeah,
it really doesn't matter if it's taped up. It doesn't matter what you're putting on there.
Yeah, if it's a small area.
Yeah, but set yourself up for success. Don't use the most absorbent material that we work with.
Use a sponge.
Alex,
just use a couple of paper towels.
R6 Pink Panther pink insulation that we use for our track saws. Use that stuff. Just tape it up. Just to make Braden mad.
Tape it up.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, that was good. Albert, this is a great episode. This is some very good info. I think it's going to be hopefully very eye-opening to our listeners who are actually here for the woodworking to kind of hear a
Do we have any of those left?
Yeah, maybe one or two. John Grubb for sure. Justin's going to be so mad. But it was definitely eye-opening for me hearing all the marquetry stuff and all the different tools and techniques you use that I've never heard of or seen. So thank you for that. And where can everyone find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's great to be in a different space than like the spaces that I'm used to. I'm
people
on
your age, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like God, I can talk to people and pretty much get an idea of what they think. I'm on Instagram at albert.a.kleine. My last name's spelled goofy, Kleine. I'm also the same on YouTube. I have a book. You can buy it anywhere that books are sold. It's called Complete Starter Guide to Making Wooden Boxes. I'm in the current issue of Popular Woodworking. I'll have more coming out in that. Popular Woodworking. Yeah, I'm in Popular Woodworking a lot. So there. That's it.
You need a website, my guy.
I know.
Did you guys know that Barnes and Nobles was still a thing? Like it's still out there.
That's where you got your Starbucks.
I found your book at Barnes and Nobles, and the first thought I had was, Barnes and Nobles is still
that's
here?
Where you use the bathroom if you're in a major city and you need to use the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that's where you
go right into the Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, they got a lot of perusing material there. Just take it into the bathroom. Oh. Did you take that into the bathroom? You have to buy that.
You got to run in, take all the Bibles, put them in the fiction section, run out. Not that I've ever done that in high school. No, there's no footage proving it.
Pete's never done that. He has done lapped.
Okay.
I get it.
There we go. Anyway.
Dan, you want to say something?
No. I'm done. No, if you like, sponsoring or helping us out in any way, you could always share the show, or you could go join our Patreon. Patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast, or simply go to iloveawp.com. You can help us out that way. Again, one of the best ways you can help us out is just sharing the show. Maybe, you know what? We haven't asked for reviews in a while.
Leave us a review. And remember, 5 stars only. That's all you can leave. But keep them vague. Keep them confusing. Like, help save my marriage. And, cleared up that rash. I love it. Like, just make it really confusing for people so when they look up the show, they'll have to listen. They'll be like, what the hell is this? So
I took an episode of AWP into the Barnes & Noble's bathroom, and then they made me buy it when I got out.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep, there you go. So thanks for joining us, guys and gals, and we'll see you all next week.
Maybe.
Right? Yeah, definitely. We have to because we have an obligation because of Braden.
Well, the government shut down, though. It might start affecting us.
We're not the government.
We're essential.
We are like the aircraft controllers. We have to show up to work, but we're not getting paid for this.
Aircraft controllers?
Or air traffic controllers, whatever. They control the aircraft.
We are really crushing our references here, guys.
So smooth, guys. And a huge shout out to Gorilla Glue and WTB Woodworking for being amazing sponsors and supplying the maker community with everything they need to make more stuff and make it fun. Love y'all. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye, 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 bye,
Bye, bye, bye, bye.
Love you long time.